Today's video is going to be based on Thermaltake Divider 500 TG addressable RGB case, and you can see it's completely different than what we are used to when we're talking about panels on the cases, right? You have diagonal going straight through the case with one side of tempered glass, one side of full panel, and the same thing on the other side. But talking about the other side, it doesn't have this some sort of a opening for, let's say, a ventilation or an outtake or maybe an intake for your GPU, because the cutout is right here where the GPU is, so GPU can take extra air if it's placed vertically. When we're talking about vertical placement, we have a back panel that can be switched to standard position, like normal horizontal line for the GPU, and you can untie the screws, flip the bracket and place it vertically, so the GPU can be placed vertically without any issues. Now, this case can and cannot support liquid custom loop, and the thing is, if you place for instance, like I did, Asus GeForce RTX 3070 Ti ROG Strix, there's no possibility to place a pump if the GPU is horizontal. Of course, there are possibilities for some custom parts to create and similar things, but since the thickness, the length and the depth of the GPU is the size that it is, you don't have any possibility like that. So I decided to place the GPU vertically, and by that you have loads of space at the back to use the Thermaltake Pacific C360 DDC pump. Well, basically the whole kit, but the pump is DDC, and you can place it right at the back, tie it up at the back panel, where it's actually a possibility to place loads of other stuff as well. Now, talking about radiator support, at the back we have a 120mm fan, which is quite alright. I mean, you could squeeze in a radiator, but there's no point if you could place a 240 radiator here and 360, 280 or 240 radiator on front. Unfortunately, such large case, it doesn't have a support for 360 radiator on top, but checking it out more closely, it would definitely collide with the front. Now, when you also check out the case from all the sides, you have 4 tempered glass panels, and you might consider that it will be kind of blockage with the airflow and similar stuff. Check this out. You have an opening right here at the top, and the fans are here. So you have loads of space for the outtake of the fans to blow and push the air through these holes. The same thing goes for the front panel. This is the opening and the fans are here. So you have 2 centimeters of extra space, I would say, from the intake and the fans, so they can collect cold air and outtake the hot air. So let's turn it on and let me show you what it is all about. So first of all, this is Thermaltake Divider 500 TG addressable RGB. As I already stated at the beginning, we have the Thermaltake Pacific C360 DDC custom loop, which you get 360 radiator, 3 120mm addressable RGB fans, CPU block, DDC pump, and pipes, fittings, basically everything you need, including the clear liquid coolant for the loop. And we have Thermaltake Tough RAM 2x8 gigs. These are special edition metallic gold, so it kind of goes quite nicely with the gold and black theme. It's just color scheme, nothing specifically done custom except for the pipes bent, so that's it. The case is quite alright, I would say. Finally, Thermaltake decided not to leave only the power supply shroud for the power supply like in level 20 GT, but here's the catch. At the back you have some sort of a compartment where it's kind of strange. It goes directly to your tempered glass or the closed panel, it doesn't matter, the plates, and the problem with that is you can't reroute the 24-pin cable. You have to reroute it here through the back, then down, and then again through the rubber grommet. I mean, it's just a bit too complicated, because otherwise if you place your cables across that plate, you can close the side panel. So that's one thing that they should have considered when taking cable management into an option. Otherwise, you have loads of space at the back. You can't go wrong with cable management. I mean, you have, for instance, standard power supply, standard cables, and then I even managed to use the extenders. But compared to the other cases I reviewed and used extenders, it would be a really shame not to place extenders right here in this case. So basically, with this case, you get 3 120mm fans, which you could, which are already connected to the controller at the back. So you have an option to address everything at the top. You have a button, which is instead of a reset switch, you can use it for controlling the lights. Then we have a power on button. We have USB 3.0, USB Type-C, and 3.5mm jacks for your headset and for your microphone. So I would say quite alright I/O ports at the top, because first of all, you have all the USBs that you need, including the Type-C, which in some newer cases it's not still applied, and that is what is basically missing. With the radiator support and stuff like that, you can go with even thicker radiator if you go with an AIO, because even with the RTX 3070 Ti ROG Strix, you have maybe even 3 centimeters. But then again, AIOs have some sort of a standardized thickness of the radiators in AIO, so that's a completely different story. You also get another thing inside the case, inside the box of the case. You get additional plates here, so tempered glass for this side and tempered glass for the other side. So if you, for instance, don't like this diagonal combination with half going in tempered glass and the other in full panel, you can go with both tempered glass sides with the cutout right here. You have 2 thumb screws for the full panel, and for the tempered glass you have 3 hinges that you just need to pull out, and that's basically it. Definitely something interesting from Thermaltake. I would like to see some more cases with front meshed part and RGB fans, which you could control through your motherboard or anything similar to that, and maybe work around with this. This is a cool sheen, but it could be done even better, without a doubt. Maybe even give a bit of a length to the case, just so that the standard pump, if it maybe D5 or DDC, can fit even with the GPU going horizontally. Yeah, that would be really cool. I'll place the links in the description for everything. So for the Thermaltake Divider 500 TG addressable RGB, for the Pacific C360 DDC custom liquid cooling system, and of course for the tough RAM 2x8 gigs metallic gold RAMs. Guys, thank you for watching today's video. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video, hit the notification bell for future content, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.